Arlene Lowenstein has at times struggled to control her diabetes, but about 15 years ago, she took an important step by enrolling in a weight loss program.
That really was, for me, I felt a lifesaver and a wonderful way to help me control my diabetes.
Lowenstein wound up losing 40 pounds and, even more important, has kept it off.
Sometimes you just need help. You need another person or someone in your family who's going to try to help with it.
Dr. David Nathan is director of the Diabetes Center at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. He says about 30 million Americans have diabetes and another 80 million are at high risk. Being overweight is a huge risk factor.
People who are overweight or obese have an increased risk for diabetes development that's anywhere from 25 to 100-fold greater than people who are at a healthy thin weight.
It turns out being overweight can have a cascade effect on health, opening the door to not just diabetes, but to an associated set of complications that can be damaging to the heart, known as metabolic syndrome.
So the term metabolic syndrome was invented to capture those risk factors that accompany diabetes.
Those risk factors include high blood pressure, low levels of good cholesterol, high levels of lipids or fats in the blood, fat around the abdomen, and of course, elevated blood sugar. Dr. Nathan says high blood sugar or diabetes seems to be a triggering factor for other symptoms of metabolic syndrome.
Once you have diabetes, you get elevated blood pressure in something like 75% of people, abnormal lipids, cholesterol in another 75%.
Diabetes is largely a genetic disease, and so can't always be prevented by weight loss.
There are about 5 to 10% of people who develop type 2 diabetes who are thin.
But for the majority, weight control remains perhaps the most important way of keeping diabetes and metabolic syndrome at bay.
People who aren't exercising enough, people who are gaining weight, overeating. And if you reverse those factors, we can largely prevent the development of diabetes.
In Boston, Jim Morelli for CNN.